What's up, fam? I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. You're on my show. I do every single Friday for you. It's called Gainz, and this is where we cover your questions and I answer them. I give you some topics, some other ideas. That's what we do on the show every single Friday on TeamFFLEX TV. Today, I want to cover wellness and the most common questions that I've got, that I've seen being asked, and I know just topics overall that people want answered. And we're going to cover it all right here for you. So if you are wanting to compete in wellness, or you do compete in wellness, this will be a great video for you. Subscribe to this channel and then share out the video. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. You are on Gainz. Alright, fam, so let's dive right on in. Basically, I've compiled a bunch of questions I've got probably, dozens, hundreds maybe of times over the past basically year almost now since they announced this division. And obviously things have developed. We've had a few wellness shows, not a lot, but pretty much I know the criteria, okay? I know what the judges want to see. I know what's expected. I do my absolute best to stay in touch with all the top level judges to get, the feedback and get the ideas and get what they want to hear. So I said, okay, I'm going to put it together for you guys. I do a lot of content about these things, but I'm going to give you 10 today. Topics, questions that I get all the time, answers to specific questions that's going to help you as a wellness competitor. Anybody out there that wants to compete in wellness or you're thinking about it, this will be a great video for you, all right? So let's dive right on in. Question number 1. What is the level of conditioning in wellness? And this is actually a very big question a lot of people want to know. What is the level of conditioning? There was in the beginning a lot of controversy of people saying, oh, it's a less conditioned or a fatter version of bikini, and honestly that was clearly disproven by what we've seen so far. And if you guys were actually ever listening to the judges, not these bro science coaches and experts, internet experts, that has never been a thing from the start. They've always pretty much stated what they wanted the conditioning to be. And the conditioning is going to be as is in bikini, as has been in bikini, okay? So the level of conditioning in wellness, and therefore bikini for this example, is not to be too hard. You can't be too hard. They don't want to see your striations. They don't want to see separations in muscles, okay? So for example, ladies, if you've ever got really, really lean, or maybe you compete in one of the other divisions like figure or women's physique, you are showing, your threads of your delts. You can literally see the separation in the deltoid. That would not be good in wellness. That would not be good in bikini. Same thing comes in the lower body for the quads and the legs. They don't want to see your quad separations. They don't want to see these deep cuts you see in some of these other women divisions. What they're looking for is a conditioned physique that is in the right conditioning, basically. They want to see specific lines. A couple lines here and there, but not deep cuts. They want to see the ab line, the quad line, from the side, and some deltoid separation slightly, but not ever cuts and deep, muscle separations. That's just not going to serve you. So the conditioning, if you're wondering about wellness specifically, maybe you've already competed and you did well, you probably had the right conditioning that you would need for wellness. And if you're looking at bikini competitors that are doing well in their shows, and they're, you're seeing that would probably correlate over well to wellness. The same type of conditioning for bikini and for wellness is what the NPC IFBB wants to see. Number 2. What are the abs like in wellness? This is one that's come up a billion times, all right? And people wondering, do we have to have a chiseled six-pack to be a wellness competitor? What are we looking for? And I'll tell you guys straight up. This is what Sandy has told me all the time. She's told me this about bikini. She's told me this about wellness. You don't have to have a shredded six-pack at all. A lot of times it can actually hurt you to do that, right? Going back to what we just talked about conditioning-wise, getting too lean will score you down, okay? It will actually make you score worse in wellness and bikini for that matter if you are too lean. So So a lot of times you can actually see a visible six-pack abs. You can actually be portrayed as too lean to the judges at the table because, you know, obviously you're a very lean body fat percentage to have six-pack abs. So do you need them? No. And it's either going to help or it's going to hurt you, okay? Sometimes it can help because it can add to your physique a little bit to have a little bit of abs, but sometimes it's going to hurt you. And it really comes down to the person, to the physique. Do you need abs in wellness though? No, you don't. What you need is a flat stomach, okay? Again, those basic ab lines like I was talking about, you know, it's really just that side oblique line in a side pose. And then other than that, you don't need to have a chiseled six-pack. You don't need to have abs really at all. Honestly, what you need is the right aesthetic, you know, coming down into a small, tight, tiny waist. That's what we see in many of these women's divisions. That's what we're also seeing in wellness. And with that, you got to understand it's about this hourglass. It's about this shape. The best wellness competitors we've seen thus far since we've had a few shows go down, like at the Arnold and stuff like that. Well, basically what we're seeing is shape is everything. That shape, you know, the taper down and coming into the legs, you know, this is stuff we know about wellness. As far as abs go though, no, we don't need specific abs. You don't have to have chiseled abs. And again, it's very physique specific, but just understand being at the right level of conditioning is what matters most. Question number 3, what are the shoulders like in wellness? They are going to be slightly more developed than they are in bikini, okay? So if I haven't made this clear yet enough with everything I'm talking about, you know, these two divisions, bikini and wellness, they're very close to each other. However, wellness is very different, and we'll get to more of this kind of stuff later. But basically, when it comes down to comparisons, we can start with bikini and say, okay, but this for wellness. So, for example, bikini competitor shoulder development right now is less than you would need for wellness. You need slightly more, but again, they don't want to see you coming into a shoulder type for like figure or something like that, or women's physique. They don't want to see that massive development. They want to see a little bit more development on the upper body than they do in current bikini, but it's not dramatic. It's not huge. You're not going to be capping. You're not going to be striated. You're not going to be doing that. Basically, where you got to be at is slightly more developed, have that nice round shape, no chisels, no cuts, none of that stuff, and you're going to be in the right spot for wellness. What are the quads like in wellness? This is a huge one, obviously. I think this is question number 4. This has been asked a lot, and if we know anything about wellness by now, if you guys have been watching my channel, you know, you would know this months and months, probably almost a year ago at this point. And if you're not watching the channel, it's because you're not subscribed, so subscribe to the damn thing. But quads in wellness, the legs, the lower body overall, so much more developed in wellness, like literally to the next level. It is not comparable to bikini at all. You have to have this development that is pretty much next level on the legs. That's what really differentiates wellness from bikini and, you know, stuff like that. It's more like, honestly, almost like a figure level development, but not with that level of conditioning. You gotta have a serious amount of muscle to be able to come into wellness and do well. And keep in mind, if you guys have been watching, I talk about how this is really the only women's division that is asymmetrical. When we look at bikini, we look at figure, we look at women's physique and bodybuilding, so on, we're always looking for symmetry from upper to lower body. They want to see you be symmetrical. Well, in wellness, they want to see you be actually a little bit asymmetrical, right? They want to see the lower body be way more developed than the upper body in this sense. So it's actually the lower body dominant division of the women's divisions. And so with that, the legs, they got to be really, really developed, okay? And I know that a lot of people wonder about how do you get this development, how do you do this? I talked about the training a bit yesterday on the channel, but basically with the development, you want to make sure you don't bring the striation and the cuts that some of these other developed divisions do on the women's side, like figure and women's physique, etc. You want to make sure that you're bringing the development with the right level of conditioning. Going back to question 1, no striations, no cuts, no deep spread in the muscle whatsoever. By the way, if anyone's interested in training for wellness, you want to do a show, you want to see what the training's like, go to my website right now, TeamFFLEX.com. You can subscribe to our free coaching trial. Just put your email in this box. It's going to be an instant invitation over to our coaching coaching. And what this does is we set you up free with some custom workouts, build you some stuff out, same kind of stuff we would give a wellness competitor. We treat you just like one of our actual clients. So anybody out there with whatever goal you got, wellness or not, we can help you out over at the website. Go there now, put your email in the box, and you'll be working with me or one of my coaches free for the next 7 days. No obligation to buy anything, nothing like that. Just want to help you out, give you some more knowledge, some more experience, just kind of like what we're doing in this video. So if you're getting anything out of this, go over to the website, TeamFFLEX.com, put your email in that box, and we'll see you on the other side. Let's roll to question number 5 right now, though. What are the glutes like in wellness, okay? So this is another topic kind of covering about the same as the quads. We need to see a lot more development in the lower body in wellness. This is, pretty well noted in a lot of stuff I've done, a lot of content, and I've talked about this since the start. It's the asymmetrical division. You got to have a lot more lower body development, which means, guess what? You got to have a lot more glute development too. The glutes are nothing like bikini type, physique or even figure for that matter. We're talking about a next level development. Definitely the most well-developed glutes in the women's divisions, period, because of the fact that you just need this, large development pronunciation basically for all your poses, your back pose, your front poses, whatever. They got to see it. You got to see a match in the lower body, the symmetry wise, right? Like for example, you don't want to have huge legs, no glutes. You want to have huge glutes and no legs. You got to get the symmetry right where you're going to have this lower body development that is just on the next level. And that's really what the wellness division is all about. It's almost a bikini type physique in a lot of ways with a dramatically overdeveloped lower body, okay? And that's really what separates most things out. As far as development you need, it's going to have to be pronounced. It's going to have to be, able to be seen. It's going to have to stand out on stage and in every call out. And that kind of brings us right around here to number 6, which is what makes wellness different from bikini. And this is a question I get a lot. Unfortunately, I still see coaches and, clients and people out there in the social media world that don't understand the difference. I've even posted, an example side by side for everybody to learn from, and I still see people commenting on it saying that they don't see a difference. Well, if you don't see the difference, it's just because you have an untrained eye. I'll tell you what, the judges, they know the difference. They will see the difference. They're going to definitely know if you have a bikini type physique in a wellness class or a wellness type physique in a bikini class. The judges will see it and they know what it is. And if you got a coach or somebody like me that's really paying attention, trying to learn as much as they can about these divisions, they will see it. I can see it. I can look at any type of competitor and see, oh, right, that's a wellness, that's a bikini, that's a figure. I can do that because this is what I live and breathe all day, every day. Unfortunately, a lot of, like I've said, a lot of coaches and a lot of teams and a lot of, even competitors out there are saying they can't see the difference. It's kind of a worthless division. I think that's a joke. I think wellness is going to be one of the best new divisions, period. It's probably going to come up and tie bikini for the most dominant division that, many competitors do. They compete in, and it is an entirely different division in itself when you really look at it. Okay, in a lot of ways, we're talking about some of the same things regarding, the upper body development and the conditioning, but when we're talking about the lower body development, it's a whole different ballpark. It's like you could definitely not transition that physique into a bikini class and do well and so on and so forth, right? A bikini girl would be too small in a wellness class, and a wellness athlete would be too large, too developed to do bikini, and that's just the way it is. These are different divisions. These are different criteria, not to mention the posing is totally different as well. We have some of the same types of poses where we do a front pose and a back pose, but that's bodybuilding. You're also doing quarter turns in wellness. You're not doing that in bikini. In bikini, you're literally walking out front and back. You're off. In wellness, you're doing, your quarter turn. You're doing your retain. You're doing different stuff that you have to figure out, and you have to know your angles for each one. And, we'll get to more questions later regarding these things, but basically, at the end of the day, it's an entirely different division. It's its own division. There are a lot of differences. If you can't see it, it's just because you don't know what to look for.
1, 2, 3!
Question number 7 is something I was getting a lot for a little bit, was what are the recent posing changes in wellness? And this actually happened in bikini and wellness. They were getting rid of the teapot arm, you guys. And I did content on the teapot arm. If you don't know what the teapot arm is, it's basically when you're doing your pose and you stick your arm off to the side. And I started early on calling it the teapot arm and all that. And you know, Sandy has talked about it at seminars for years, and they finally made it a rule. Now it's official. You cannot do that on stage. You will be definitely scored down. You're not going to do well probably if you're out there posing like that. So make sure you guys are up to date. NPC News Online, they got great resources for the posing. They'll tell you how to do it, or if you need extra help, you can always come over to TeamFFLEX. Go to teamflex.com/posing, and we offer a free posing session for anyone out there that wants to take advantage of this. We can pose you wellness, we can pose you bikini, we can pose you for men's physique, we do it all right? We offer a free session too. You can go do that anytime. Go to the website teamfflex.com/posing. Question number 8. How long does it take to compete in wellness? And this is one I get all the time. People want to know this. It's actually quite interesting as a question because very individual, obviously. I mean, I feel like I say this stuff all the day, like I'm just hammering it down. But the truth is, it is. Every single person is different. Every single journey is going to be different. Every single level they're at is going to be different. Every single level they need to get at is different. But basically what you got to do for most of you ladies out there, I'll tell you, okay? Because I'm training a lot of women for wellness. I've been getting a lot of people wellness ready. I've had some wellness competitors compete already now, and basically what happens is you got to understand what stage of the game you're in, okay? If you are one of these women that have like crazy muscle development for just your natural purpose, or maybe you've had a very long off season from doing something, or maybe you never compete before, but basically you just have this large amount of muscle development in the lower body already. A lot of athletes, that were like high school track or whatever, they have great development like this sometimes, or they do other sports. But basically the point is, if you have that, you might be able to look at doing a very short kind of shaping phase, reshape your physique a little bit, do a dedicated training program, maybe 8-12 weeks, and then be able to go into an 8-12 week prep to actually get into the show. And when we talk about prep, we're talking about just dieting down, okay? So you can't just automatically diet and get into a wellness stage and do well. It's not going to work. You're going to need a phase of building and a phase of cutting to be able to do an actual prep and do well on the stage. And basically with that, you got to understand that some of you women out there are going to be in a large building phase. Like some of you need to be looking at a comp in a year. And that's because you're going to actually need to attain the right amount of muscle, the right symmetry, shape, size, proportion to be able to do these divisions, okay? And it's going to be definitely a challenging thing if you think you're going to show up on stage without the right amount of muscle development. And I know a lot of competitors, they hate the whole off season, the whole improvement season, as I call it, where they're not on stage. But it really is required if you're going to compete with a large amount of muscle. And so if you're one of these ladies out there that you don't have a lot of muscle, maybe you're a hard gainer, or maybe you compete in bikini and now you need to get to the wellness level of muscle, well, you're going to probably have to take some time to do that. It could be 6 months, could be 12 months, could be longer. Every person is different, where you got to really focus on building, you got to really focus on getting yourself prepared, you got to get in the right spot before you diet down and do a show. And this is different for everybody. The time you need is different for everybody, how you do it. But really at the end of the day, you got to understand this too. When you're even in an improvement season phase, even though you might not be getting to a stage anytime soon, you should be just as dedicated with your training, just as dedicated with your nutrition, just as dedicated on getting that result, because really you're doing a prep before your prep. You got to have the right symmetry and all that before you even consider dieting down, trying to get on a wellness stage. And so with this, I got to say it again, if you need help, anyone out here, coaches that are trying to coach people for wellness, wellness competitors, people that want to compete in wellness, just go to my website. Seriously, we do this free trial. You just put your email in the box, teamfflex.com, put your email in that box, and it's going to be an instant invitation to our free trial where we can set you up with whatever you want. Wellness workouts, all this stuff. I'll show you how to train. I'll show you what you need to be doing. I can give you a physique assessment, tell you where you're at versus where you need to be, and all that. We do that all for free. There's no reason not to do it. No obligation. You don't put a card in. I don't charge you a dime. You could literally rip me off. Go over there, get some expert coaching advice, and take off. Never do anything, with us again. That's totally fine with me, because at the end of the day, we do this so we can help you, we can give you more information so that we can see you on stage, and so we can ramp up the quality of competitors coming, so our competitors got some better competition on stage. All right, so go over to the website, teamfflex.com, put your email in that box, and I'll see you on the other side for that free trial. Question number 9 is kind of almost along with the same vibe, but can I just follow my friend's wellness program and get ready? Absolutely not, okay? I know a lot of people want to Google stuff. I know a lot of people think that, oh, I'll save myself the money of hiring a coach. I'll save myself this. I'll just Google it. I'll just do his program, this stuff goes through fitness industry forever. And I've said for a while, I think this is where the fitness industry has failed in a large amount for years and years before this current time was, oh, here's a meal plan. Oh, here's a workout program. Oh, they did this. Oh, that. You know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't really work that way. You can get a small amount of beginner type gains doing anything. Yeah, you get off the damn couch and you go start working out, you're going to get results. Doesn't matter what you're doing really. And same goes for maybe your workout, but now you're just going to jump into trying to do a competition stuff. Yeah, you'll get a little bit of results, but at the end of the day, you'll never be your best competitor unless you have custom programming, custom training, and a coach. Really, at the end of the day, that's where we're at in this sport of bodybuilding. Now is probably the most competitive it's ever been in terms of physique, quality, and amount of athletes competing, right? It is huge. It is massive. It grows every year. More and more people coming to compete. More and more people getting great coaches. More and more people, raising the level, the standard of what the quality of these divisions are. If you watch my channel, you guys may have seen the evolution of bikini video I did. If you look at the first Bikini Olympia compared to right now, it is night and day difference. And that's because the quality is constantly getting better and improving. So with that, guess what you have to have? Something that is custom that is going to be able to get you to your best quality. Otherwise, honestly, you're a hamster on a wheel. You're just burning. You're burning out. You might be able to do okay at a few little shows here and there, but you're never going to be able to go get a pro card. You're never going to be able to go beyond that. You're never going to be able to continue along, competing unless you start to invest in things like coaching and stuff like that, where you can get a good coach that's going to be helping you get where you need to be. They're qualified. They know what it requires. They know what the division is, and you can become the athlete. You can do the work. Don't follow this generic stuff. Don't follow your friend's program. Don't do all that. I'll tell you guys from my experience as a coach, I am constantly monitoring everything my clients are doing. Not even my just competitors, but any client, right? I'm literally monitoring all the time. I'm doing check-ins. I'm watching their pictures. I'm watching their stats. I'm watching their weights tracked. I'm doing all this VR app, and I'm seeing, all right, I got to adjust this. Okay, more macros here, less macros there. Okay, we're going to change this exercise out. I'm doing this 24/7, okay? And this is why our athletes and our clients get such good results. People are blown away by transformations. It's nothing aside from the fact that it's customization, and it's the highest quality customization you can get. And that is definitely not your friend's program. There's nothing else out there. Get yourself a coach. Seriously, do it. If you want help for free, go to TeamFFLEX.com. All right, final question, fam, to wrap this video up today, and this is one that I've been hammering on for a while, but I think it's so important because people are still asking this. Can you do multiple divisions as a wellness competitor? Meaning, like, could you go from wellness into figure or wellness into bikini and, kind of do those all around the same time or maybe even at the same show and do well? The answer would be, in my opinion, two kind of answers, honestly, okay? First answer would be, yeah, if you plan on being pretty bad at whatever competition you do, sure. If, in other words, like, you're going to do a very small show and, you might get top 5 in wellness, you might get top 5 in bikini, great, do it. And whatever, if that's your goal, that's your goal. I don't believe at all, period, that you can do well in multiple divisions at a high level. I don't think it's true, and you can't do it once you get to a certain level anyway. But the point is, I don't think that you can actually go and do that, because what it takes is to focus finitely on the actual division that you're competing in. For example, we talked about the entire day how this division is so different from every other division, right? For example, bikini, you can't really cross there unless you're subpar in both, or you're at a very small show where there's just no competition. Because at the end of the day, a high, at nationals, for example, when we see nationals coming up, you guys will see this. I guarantee you, we're going to see bikini competitors and we're going to see wellness competitors at nationals, and it's going to be vastly different. There will be no question decision that, okay, we could not have put her from wellness in bikini and she would do good, and we could not have taken a bikini girl and put her in wellness and she would do good, and same for figure and all that. You can't cross divisions once you get to a serious level, because you have to invest time and effort and dedication and training and eating and doing all these things correctly to attain the right criteria of your division. And if anything, the criteria of the divisions now is the most clear and the most finite it's ever been. Okay, and so really, like I said, a lot of you out there don't see the difference. You think, oh, I can do both, I got this, blah, 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 or my coach says this. Hey, you might want to check with what the judges are saying, because I know for a fact the judges will be able to tell the difference between a wellness competitor, a bikini competitor, a figure competitor. This is what they do. This is their job. And you're going to be very disappointed if you start trying to do, okay, I'm going to do bikini training here, I'm going to do some wellness training here, you're going to be subpar. You're not going to be able to go as far as you want to go. So really, at the end of the day, it comes down to your goals. You're trying to win shows, you're trying to get a pro card, or you're just trying to show up. And that's what I honestly think about it. And anybody that wants to contest me, let's talk, because at the end of the day, this is the truth. This is the criteria. This is the stuff that I hear and I learn from, NPC News Online and NPC judges and IFBB judges, Sandy Williamson, all these people. They tell me this kind of stuff, and then I give it back to you guys so that you can hopefully learn, you can grow, you can do more, you can get better, and we can all show up and have a great time at these events and these shows. So that's what it's all about, fam. That's it for this today. 10 questions down, wellness. Hopefully you got something out of that. Seriously, if you want some help, go to my website. We got that free trial. I've already said it 3 times, so I don't need to say it again. TeamFFLEX.com. Put your email in the box. See you on the other side. Help you with whatever you need. Please do me a favor, though, fam. Subscribe to this channel and share out the video. Seriously, I appreciate it so much. I do this stuff for free, trying to get you guys where you want to be, and that's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do here. So if you share it and you subscribe, you're helping me out, you're helping other people out. We're all getting there together. Let's all win together, fam. All right? Thank you for watching Gainz O'Clock. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. Be back on Monday for Protein Power. I'll see you then. Thank you, guys. Coach Rye is out.